Every day, my dad drugged my food so I couldn't remember what he was doing to me. Normally, these videos take me about an hour to figure out what I'm gonna do. I'm like, what am I gonna watch? I need something weird. I literally typed in Storytime Animated. This came up, and I was like, boys, we have done it. This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. Let's jump into it.
I'm 16 years old. How well do you know the ones you live under the same roof with?
Ooh, I don't
Do you know what your relatives love? When do they come back from work?
When do
What
they come
food
back
do
from
they
work?
prefer?
All right, let me answer these real quick. They come back from work at like 2:45, 3 p.m. Isaac loves pretty much everything. Ben does not eat ketchup. Done. I know my boys.
Most importantly, what are they doing while you are sleeping? I
Invading my
trusted
house?
relatives so much that I had to pay for it with my health and happiness.
Oh no.
Now I'm ashamed to tell this story, but I hope I will get some good advice and support here.
Okay.
I grew up with my father. I barely remember my mom.
Hello, father. Hello,
She
mother.
died when I was around 4.
Oh no.
Sometimes her shaking hands and her look of being lost come to my mind. I have one
We are already
really
getting real
vivid
disturbing here.
memory of my mom.
Okay.
One day, she got hysterical and just attacked my father's collection of dolls
My mom used to do that too, but it was me, not. Excuse me.
and began to tear off their legs and heads.
Oh, okay, all right. That's
Oh,
weird.
she
Okay.
scared me and my dad then.
I'd be
It
terrified
was
too. I'll be
probably
honest with you.
because of her illness, which I inherited as well. Thankfully, I take medications,
Okay.
and I don't have any bouts.
I don't know what illness makes you tear head dolls, but it's kind of creepy.
I only sometimes get dizzy.
Okay.
Yeah. My father has a large collection of dolls.
Let's see what we got here, though. All right, let's take a long look at these dolls. That's enough. Look at this one. It's like super realistic. The little blue one in the bottom right there. Why is that so real?
He has hundreds, maybe
Okay.
even thousands of them.
Okay. All right.
You think I'm
all right,
lucky?
all right.
That I had many toys when I was a child?
Yeah.
Sure. He didn't let me take a step towards his treasure.
No.
Sometimes it seemed to me that he loved the dolls more than me.
Wow.
But
Doesn't this girl's voice sound like someone who's been deeply disturbed her whole life? Like if there's a true story, this one's it, because this girl has been through something.
I understood that it was just jealousy.
Okay.
He is a great person and father.
I'm sure he
He
is.
spent a lot of money on my treatment.
I'm sure he did.
Also, he cooked really well.
Yeah, okay.
3 times a week, he organized a fantastic dinner for us with crispy homemade chicken, pizza, and burgers.
Who wants to bet this is all made of human meat, human flesh? The dolls are representative of who he's murdered. These are human flesh. They're eating humans. Calling it
He
now.
even baked cakes for me.
Human meat.
What other father can boast of such culinary feats?
Look, there's little baby poops on that cake. Your dad's cooking a human meat cake with baby poop frosting.
But are there
Respect it.
really perfect fathers?
No.
Of course, he had his own flaws.
Oh,
My
did he?
father never gave me pocket money and bought me clothes extremely rarely. My
Oh
wardrobe
my gosh, he never bought you clothes? He's so bad.
hadn't been
I didn't even get clothes as a kid. I got all hand-me-downs, so
upgraded in years. I wore shabby pants,
So did I.
short shirts, and stretched sweaters.
there's nothing, that's all I literally wore all through high school. Like, shut up. That's normal.
Sometimes I had to wear my mom's old-fashioned clothes,
Okay,
which
that's
were obviously
uncomfortable.
not my size. I dressed so ridiculously. If at the end of school it was possible to get
Like, what they say when they interviewed for this position? Are they like,
Yo, we need a really disturbed girl with some real big problems, a strange, like, really deadpan voice that makes people want to, like, die inside.
because that's what this is giving me right now.
at the school's biggest laughingstock, then I would definitely have won.
Okay.
I looked enviously at the clothes of my classmates,
I am
which
so
looked
envious.
so new. When I was in primary school, I even stole my classmate's jacket. It was so sparkling and
do be looking
stylish
good, though.
that I couldn't resist.
Okay. all right.
Obviously, the next day,
no.
I had to listen to my father's speech about morality, apologize to the owner, and
Aw.
return the magnificent thing.
One of those girls that wears all pink every single day. You know.
My
you know if you know.
classmates still remember this story and try to
Yikes.
avoid me.
Yikes.
I just hear their jokes that now I'm stealing clothes from the homeless. Very funny.
I mean, look, I never stole clothes, and I had a baggy clothes. I literally only wore hand-me-downs from my boy named Seth. Seth, you're out there. You have a kid now. I love you. I wore his clothes pretty much always because he had Hollister, and we couldn't afford Hollister.
Well, anyway, because of my father's greed, I don't have a single friend and a very dubious reputation at school. Sometimes I felt offended by my dad.
all right.
How could he spend so much money on his dolls, but not buy his only daughter some beautiful clothes?
Where's he gonna
What
drug
was
you?
lacking
Isn't
in
that the
me?
story?
Is my hair too natural? Do I talk a lot? Oh man, I was so annoyed by these toys.
I was
All
so
these
annoyed
damn
by these
dolls were
stories.
everywhere. Some rooms were just filled with them.
Oh, man.
Sometimes I even woke
What?
up with doll hair in my mouth
All
or
right.
colorful ribbons in my
Now we be getting to the weird stuff, folks.
bed. How stupid I was then. If I only knew what my father was doing to me, I wouldn't envy the dolls. Sometimes we don't see the full picture of the world.
Of
Either
course
we
not.
look at everything in pink glasses or vice versa.
Oh. I don't understand
Gloss.
what you're saying.
The most important thing is to stop in time and take a sober look at things.
Okay.
That's what I didn't know how. But one thing I knew for sure, I could live a completely different life. Not
Okay.
be such a strange hobby in my father's
If
life.
this ain't the slowest story we have reacted to yet, like you call it, literally look at that title. Every day my dad drugged my food so I can't remember what he was doing to me. Like,
I tried not to think about them.
when's this gonna happen?
Tried not to cry when he bought some wig or dress at the auction.
Eat her.
I was too shy to ask him for a new jacket or
Why?
t-shirt.
That's your fault.
Also, I was constantly at home. No movies, no cafes, no parties. For every request to have a bit of money, I got one answer. Monica, you're sick. At any moment, you can lose consciousness.
What?
Normal teenage life is not for you. Oh. It was hard to hear,
Because he's drugging her.
but I knew he was right. I sometimes felt so weak and dizzy. It was like the earth was going under.
Oh, no.
The whole world was spinning like a rabid
Ooh,
merry-go-round.
give me a little vertigo. Don't
and
do
the
that.
mouth was dry. Most of the time, it happened after
Is that how you guys eat? Single piece of lettuce, single leaf. I am dead now.
eating. I probably
Hey, we both be green
shouldn't have
though.
overeat. I quickly fell asleep and woke up in the morning, usually broken, and hated the world.
Wow.
My dad always said it was normal, and so was with my
You're
mom.
good to go.
Therefore, I had to stay at
no.
home more. But damn, how much I wanted to spend more time with my peers. If I only knew what was really hiding behind my bad feeling.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we
Despite
go.
his flaws, I loved my father.
Okay.
I had no one closer to me. Well, unless Aunt Lily, my father's sister. They had a strained relationship.
Probably because he
She
drugged her
only
too.
spoke with me and often asked me to move to her to another state.
Oh my
But how
gosh.
could I leave my father who cooked such amazing meals and took care of me?
He literally cooked human flesh for you and gave you drugs to make you pass out.
No
I'm just
way in
saying.
hell.
Something messed up about
That's
that.
what I thought. Until
Okay.
one story happened that turned my life upside down.
Uh-oh.
6 months ago, my father and I were talking on the phone.
Yes.
When we said bye, he forgot to hang up his phone, and I heard something shocking. My dad was whispering under his nose his plans
so
for the
weird.
day.
Why would you do that?
Buy a
I can't wait to drug her today. We're gonna take her down. I'm gonna go ahead and eat her, destroy, cut, eat, consume her body.
chicken,
That's what he's thinking. Okay.
spices, fix a car, and pop into the drugstore for Monica's tranquilizers. I
You can't just buy. Can you just buy tranquilizers at the drugstore? Is that like a thing? I don't feel like
shuddered.
that's a thing.
What tranquilizers? I suddenly realized I had never seen the packets of my meds. My father simply gave me some pills with my dinner. And my plan had ripened. I had to check out. Was my father lying to me? Or
Yes.
did I just think he said something about tranquilizers? Maybe it was a glitch in the phone network.
Yes.
Deep down, I
Yes, the phone network glitched, and your dad said those words, and it glitched.
Knew.
What?
It was not interference on the line or in
What?
my ears. I'm sick, of course, but my hearing is excellent. My dad was up to something, and I had to do an investigative experiment.
Take him down.
Although I really wanted it to be a fantasy or a nightmare that would be over soon.
I still can't get over how green I look with the green screen and the green show. It's just very green today.
And this is what I did. When I came home, I pretended not to have heard anything. During dinner, I laughed at Dad's jokes, talked about my school. I even imitated chewing chicken and drinking up the pills from my illness with water. It seemed my father didn't suspect anything.
That's
After our dinner, I went to my room and pretended to be asleep. Half an hour later, my father came into
Oh, this is getting weird. Now we're
My
talking.
room.
7 minutes in.
I
This is what
felt
we
his
came for, boys.
fingers on my
This is getting
body.
weird.
He started to powder my cheeks,
Ew,
put
what?
lipstick on my lips, and dye my eyes. I was laying in my nightgown and shaking
There's a lot of ways I thought this would go, and this ain't it.
with terror. He suddenly lifted my head and threw some fabric over it. I wanted to scream and cry, but I barely held myself. I expected the worst, but
What?
felt him putting a dress on me? My body was itchy from the chiffon, but with a lot of willpower, I continued pretending to be
What?
asleep. I decided to keep watching, but rather to experience the performance until the end. My dad started putting ribbons in my hair, saying some stupid dialogue about the weather and doll life. Then he put hot tea to my lips and spread cream cake over my face. He whispered into my ear so softly, like never before, "Why are you so messy? I'll wipe it off with a napkin." Jesus.
I'm afraid to go on, man. This is weird. What the heck?
What an absurdity. Was it a dream? Our tea party lasted around 2 hours. At the end, he washed me, took off the dress, and left the room. I couldn't shut my eyes until the morning, and
No
was
kidding.
totally
Me neither.
horrified. The man with whom I lived in the same house and called my father is crazy. I wasn't a daughter to him, but a human-like doll in his collection, which he stuffed with tranquilizers.
Did not
So
see that
that's
coming,
where my
folks.
headaches came from. Obviously not from epilepsy. What if I'm
Wow.
not sick at all? I couldn't remain in this doll theater any longer, where it seems I was
This
playing
is
the
actually like
main role.
horrifying. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you.
That
This one's actually
morning, my
kinda scary.
father went to work,
What?
and I called my aunt and said I want to come to her.
Oh my
She sent me
gosh.
money, and I got on a bus.
Stop.
The whole way, I thought of what I would tell her.
Stop. This is
Would
stupid.
she believe
Stop.
me, or just call the
This story
paramedics
needs to end
that
right
will
now.
take me to a madhouse? Hi, is this the psychiatric hospital? We have a patient here who claims she turns into a doll at night. Luckily, when we met, she surprised me with the question. He did it with you too, Monica? I nodded.
Why did
and
she never
hugged
tell
me.
him? Why did she never tell
That
him?
evening, we had an honest conversation.
Why did she never say, like, yo, hey, your dad's kind of creepy and turns people into dolls at night?
Lily told me that they were really poor in their childhood. Their parents barely managed to afford food and couldn't buy them toys.
Okay.
All my father had were their grandmother's old dolls. He
Sure.
constantly played with them and got really attached to them. When the family got the opportunity to buy him cars and planes, he didn't even touch them.
Okay. He
At
wants
the
a
age
school.
of
It's
14,
fine.
he continued having tea parties with his plastic friends.
Okay.
And it was really scary for their parents. Lily claims she also found ribbons in her bed. Probably he bullied my poor mother too. Back then, they all understood that he had some problems, but no one could do anything about it.
Why?
Dolls were forcibly taken, hidden, thrown away, burned, but he found new ones.
But I'm trying to figure out. Your aunt knows that he does this, and you just let it happen. You're just like,
Oh, just let it happen. It's okay. He's probably not doing anything.
And played with them until nobody saw.
What?
He's been doing this for 48 years.
okay.
I'm living with my aunt now. I can't forgive my father, but I miss him very much. Sometimes I
No, you missed the turkey human flesh he cooked you.
think maybe I should visit him. Maybe we should talk. Find him a great therapist who would solve the problem. After all, he hasn't done anything bad. He just gave me tea.
That's literally once out of your entire life that you actually were aware of. Let's be honest here, girl. You have no idea what's going on, all right?
On the other hand, he invented a fake disease for me and fed me tranquilizers.
That do be
Would a
bad, though.
loving father be capable of doing such a thing?
Yes.
He called and texted me a couple times, but I didn't answer. Then Dad talked to my aunt on the phone, but Aunt Lily told him harshly that I would live with her now and that his disgusting secret had been revealed.
Wow.
I don't know what he said to
I just don't get why the aunt never brought it up to her.
but
Doesn't
my
make
father
sense to me.
never insisted on me coming back. I think he lives in his own little world with his dolls, and he's very happy. Or maybe he's not. Maybe it's hard, but he's afraid to tell me he misses me. Or is he ashamed? But the father is my dearest man, right? I can't leave him alone with this problem. Or can I?
What?
What would you do in my place? Do your relatives have some peculiarities?
Should you just call that a peculiarity? A peculiarity? Your dad was literally drugging you for your entire life. Your aunt kept it a secret from you. Your aunt is a part of this. First, I just need to say that right now. The aunt is a part of this. Now that she lives with the aunt, because the aunt never told her, I think the aunt's actually worse. The aunt is literally going to eat you. Straight up. The aunt's going to eat you. This is crazy. Guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to lick that screen. I'll see you guys later. Peace.